Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome everybody.
A little bit of Saturday morning playtime. Well, it's actually 1:45, so it's not Saturday morning. My morning's gone pretty quick. So, quick thank you.
Yep, to Jim and Christine for the Buy Me a Coffee, and to David Robertson for the super.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated, thank you. Right, today I'll do... Right, quite a while back now actually, it's unbelievable. And before Snayton closed, I bought some bags of firewood. I did show them before on back videos, and I still had a couple of bags left, and I was going through, I've used them up now, and I found this piece in there, like this, just a piece of scrap bit, like, not very big. So I thought I'm gonna see if I can make something out of this, so we can get some of our money back for what we spent for the bag of wood. The bags of wood were £5.50. So you've got a bag of wood, £5.50. I reckon I can make over £5.50 out of that if I cut it up. So join me at the bandsaw. Okay guys, so I'm here at the bandsaw, and I'm just gonna very quickly, all I'm gonna do, make sure it goes under there, yep. Set my fence for that, and I'm just gonna cut this into blocks. No, that's gonna hit, right, just bring that up a little fraction. There we go. And oh, look at that, that was good. Right, okay, so join me back at the lathe. Right, here we are back at the lathe, all cut up. There we go. Got 3 bits out of that. Okay, so I just cut it into 3 little pieces like this. Now this would have just gone into the fire, you know. I've got another piece here that was a little piece of wood that was in with it, the firewood, and I kept that piece as well. Little pieces like this you would just burn or throw away, but you can make money out of them. You know, I'm not going to make big bowls and things like that, but I'm not into that anyway. And if you are, then fair enough. So I'm going to make some little things out of these. You probably know what I'm going to make, but they're little things that if you're into doing your little craft fairs and stuff like that, you can make them. If not, they're good for practicing, doing all your practice stuff. Like I say, turn one with your traditional, turn one with your carbide, but try to match the finish. That's the thing you've got to do, match the finish. So it's good practicing. If you want to turn one with your carbide, if you've only got carbide, then just turn with carbide. I'm going to do one with a carbide, one with traditional, and we see that we can get the same finish. That's the important bit. Okay, so many people still out there say, oh, carbide can't do carbide. What they're forgetting to say is, I can't do that with carbide, I can't do that with this. I suppose they don't like, because it's getting very close where a lot of people are actually realizing what you can do with carbide, and they are achieving it, and they're going to be the only ones going, well, I can't do it, but everyone else can. Oh, you know, yeah, well, you better jump on it quick then, ain't you?
Gonna get left behind.
These days of it can't be done are long gone. Right, okay, I'm going to get one of these mounted, so join me back here a second. Right, okay guys, I've got this marked up, so I found centre on it, and I'm just going to mount this between 2 step centres. Now I haven't bothered about finding centre on this side, because I will check for centre by just looking down on the top and making sure that this here looks straight. This here doesn't look quite as straight, so I'm going to come out and go back. There we go, I've got that straight, I've got that straight. That's it, that's good enough for me. Tighten that up, get my 2 step centres in, right, nice and tight. That's it, can't go anywhere. Lock that off, bring my tool rest round. I'm going to put it on the corner because we've got a square piece of wood. Because it's a square piece of wood, I want to start from here and take these corners off really quick. It's just going to tap. There we go, that's it. Now obviously as you start, you're nice and close here. As you come round to this side and you start, you're going to be overhanging a little bit more. You might get a little bit of vibration or something. It's only where your tools are overhanging. Don't worry, you just take these cuts, then get your tool rest in. Okay, right, so I'm going to put my face shield on, and I'm going to make a few quick cuts, get this down. I'm going to do one with the spindle gouge first. I'm only going to do the outside, half inch spindle gouge. Okay, that's all it is. Right, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm actually doing. There you go. Right, I'm going to start up, come in and start making my cuts straight away. Now you can hear there's the vibration. That's because I've got quite a bit of tool overhanging, okay? So I make my cuts down here first, and I'm above centre. I'm actually starting above centre. You can see where I'm cutting right up here, way above centre, okay? And I'm slicing in and coming round, so I get a full bevel contact. Right, that will make that little bit of noise because I've got basically half my tool over onto the rest there, so I'm just going to move that round. I'm going to come in here, so I don't take that, don't blow the top right out, come back a little bit. Right, now I'm just going to come round here. Going to bring that in a little bit on that top. Right, yeah, that's a smooth. Right, I've got rid of all the bottom, so I'm now just going to cut in here. Get rid of some of that. Put a tenon on. That's enough. It's just so I can get it in a chuck once I've turned it round. Nice slow cut, that give me a nice finish. Got my tool rest down a little bit. Come in. A little bit of a finish cut here. Up to there, remember that's going downhill, so we don't want to go a finish cut on that side, we want to come that side. There we go, got a little bit, I can feel just a little bit there. That's it, I've got that right, I'm quite happy with that shape. So I'm going to bring that out, a very quick little sand. I'm just going to use my back here to catch anything. Feels nice. If I'm doing small projects like this, I tend to use my little vacuum here. I can just hold it by hand here, and it takes everything away then, because I can literally put it wherever the dust is coming off. Right, that feels fairly decent actually. Right, there we go. That'll do us. Stop that. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks all nice, doesn't it? So I'm not going to put a finish on at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the other one on. So that's all nice and fairly decent there. It's got a little bit of a, what's its shape? So there we go. Put the next one on. Right, okay. This is the next piece. I've marked centre, exactly the same. I'm just going to put it between the step centres. Come in. This one's got a bit of bark missing on it, so we've got to be a bit more careful with this one here, but I reckon once those teeth go in we'll be alright. Line it up, and all I'm doing is looking that that's a straight line, that's a straight line, then that means I've got it centered down this end. Okay, now right, the bark's pushing it off a little bit there, so what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to just take that little bit of bark away. So let me just take that little bit of bark. All it is because the bark's on one side of the spur drive, okay, and it's just use this. I'm not keeping the bark on it, so it's not a problem because it didn't have bark all over. Pull that back a bit, pull that in, back on centre there, and then by looking down there, turn it round, I can see it's got to come over a fraction. There, that's it. Now when I tighten it down, now it's sitting okay. It didn't move, okay. Right, that's it, that's in place. Get my tool rest in. Now we've got a difference because we're going to have a little bit more of a vibration probably because we've got this bit here, this bit's closer, that bit's further away, so we're going to have a bit more overhang there. but it's not a problem. We just make our cuts nice and quick and get rid of this higher edge first. Okay, and then we'll bring it round. Right, for this one I'm going to use the 9mm spindle. Okay, my spindle turning carbide ones, and this is the 9mm. It's in my own handle. I do have them. I have quite a few of these. Now you'll notice this grind here I have is, oh sorry, let me bring that up a little bit. Right, this grind here is, I'll put it on the white wood, that type of grind. So, and then I have one that I sweep it right the way back like that, and I have another one in the spindle turning, which is a in between of the sweep back. So it's that thing, what not even in carbide, not one does it all. Okay, so you might have to adjust your tools for what you're doing. For me, I don't have a problem. I just make another tool. So there you go. Right, okay, so I'm going to start that up. Everything's the same, speed's exactly the same. I'm going to do exactly the same cuts. I'm going to come in and come around. I caught my finger there when I was putting my spindle gouge back and made it bleed. So that's all that was. As I was putting it, I caught my hand on the other gouge that was next to it. Right, okay, start up, come in, exactly the same cuts. Now, keeping this one a little bit shorter on here because I know I've got that difference in the depth. Okay. So we start to overhang a bit more, so as soon as we can, we bring our tool rest in. Like I said, the main difference with the carbide is it's not quite as quick. It's not as quick as a spindle gouge. Now I forgot I lowered my tool rest down, didn't I? Let me pull that up a bit again. Right, I'm a little bit low. I like to be above centre. That's it, that will be above centre, so I'll be cutting up here now. So now I'm cutting above centre. Now straight away, the difference between going on centre and above centre, you can see the difference in the cut straight away, and hopefully you can see the difference. Get rid of that bottom, or some of it at least, not all of it, because remember we're on a slight slope with that, so all we have to do is off our handle. There we go. Right, put a tenon on. There's our tenon. I reckon we're going to get hold of that. Maybe a little bit smaller. There. We should be alright with that. And then we're just going to come round exactly the same. And you want to get on your bevel. You don't just want to put your tool in and turn it 45 degrees and think you're doing it. The bevel for one is not 45 degree bevel, it's only a 30 degree bevel, or you might class it as a 60 degree, but it's actually 30 degree on a cutter. Right, we're going to get the same similar sort of shape. What shape did we have? We had it a little bit taller than this, didn't we? So coming up, same thing. As we're going to go round, we raise our handle and go more into a push cut to come off that top. Okay, so where we've got our handle drop down, we raise our handle to go into a push cut. But then we come back this way a little bit because we don't want to be finishing going downhill on that bit. Right, okay, so let's get this. Coming for a finished cut now. Yeah, that's feeling nice. got a little bit sticky on my tool rest. It's stopping me from sliding. So a quick rub with a pad. Bring it down a little fraction. That's it. It's just a little bit, must have been a bit of sap there. It was just sticking. I couldn't get it to flow freely. That's better. Right, remember we only come to the brow and then we come back this way. And then that way we blend the two. There we go. Right, I think that's going to be alright. So I'm now going to quickly sand that up. Exactly the same paper. Okay, it's the same bit of paper here. The 180 grit, which has got a bit of black mark on it. I'll turn it around, use the other side. That's it. Yep, feels much the same. I don't know exactly how much sanding we've done on the last one, how long it took, but we're going to try and do it exactly the same amount. Remember, with this we're challenging ourselves to basically get the same finish with the carbide as we get with the traditional. Right, let me turn the hoover off, and there you go, and I think we've actually achieved it. Okay, so let's take that off. I'll leave this, well, I'm going to keep this here. Sorry, I'm a bit high on you. I'll keep this here. I'm going to grab the other one, which I've just, oh look, I'm going to put that one there. Pick this one up, I've just dropped it on the floor. It's okay, it didn't do any damage. Right, so that's our one we turned with our traditional tool. That's the one we turned with our carbide, okay? And as you can see, we've got no difference on the finishing. Okay? This one's got a slightly smoother there. That one I've got that little, I came in, I put a little sort of shoulder bit there. Don't know why, but never mind. Right, so that's that. We'll get these now mounted the other way round and we'll do what we want to do with the other side. Right, okay guys, so here we are. I've got the chuck on. I've got the first one. This is the one turned with the spindle gouge. I'm going to pop that in, tighten that up. Okay, we've only got a little tenon there. Tighten the nip, that's all you want. Right, and we're going to do the front of this now. So get that in there. Right, I want to be on centre. So yeah, I'm going to be slightly lower than centre there. Bring that up a fraction. Yep, that'll do me. Right, and I'm going to clean this up, and then we're going to sort out what we're going to do on that. I'm just moving my back there. So right, let's turn on. Okay, you're in. Should be in close enough. And you're there. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is just come in and take the middle bit, like so. And now I'm going to come around here, finish this here. Going to get a little cut there, clean up this front edge. Right, nice and clean on that edge there. Okay, now I need my calipers, and I've set these. For what I've got to bring it up a little bit. You don't want to be having this below centre and pointing it up. Okay. Come in a fraction. There it is. Okay, that's that one. Right. Now I'm just gonna put my tool rest back down. There we go. Right, okay. I'm gonna just come in, start this. No, I'm slightly high. See, it left a dibble as I went to push in. That shows me that I'm slightly high. There we go. Now it's gone. So I'm just gonna come in that just that little bit, like so. Now I'm gonna come across. Remember what I'm doing is I'm cutting these fibres here. Can't see where that is. Let me just get rid of those fibres. I can't see where my line is. See, I come across and it's flushed on it. There's my line. Okay. Right, so now we're cutting across with a spindle gouge. What I want to do is make the hole here, a little bit of a hole, just for the depth. I think that would be fine for the depth. And then, even with that, if I'm using the spindle gouge, I will still come in and use the carbide just to flatten that off. Because look at that, there's no better tool for it. I can come in, I can get that bottom. Now even if you go slightly past the centre, you can't get a catch, okay? There we go. And remember, we're angling down so we get a nice clean finish on this side. My handle's up quite a bit, and because I'm above centre already, and I'm angling it down and I'm coming in like that. That's not for the bottom to be negative rake, that's for the side to have that angle going in. And for, oh sorry, I hit you with my head then. Right, and for the bottom I'm just coming up. I can go over the centre line because this can't catch because it's got no cutting on the bottom edge. Okay, so there we go. I've cleaned that up. There, right. We're done with the carbide for that bit. And now I'm going back to my spindle gouge. I'm going to just soften that edge. And I want to put something here. So I'm going to come around, put a couple of little beady bits in there, like so. Be nice and gentle with it. And just come off of here like that. That's smooth. That feels fairly smooth. Might be a little bit on it, might go over it again. Yep, that feels smooth. This one. There we go. Right, so that's all nice and smooth. So that's that done with. So that's all we wanted to do. And we do a little, we ain't got to worry too much on the inside bottom bit because we're not going to be seeing that so much. Right, there we go. A little sand there. I'm going to come down that bottom again. So I had that little mark there, which I think was, well, I don't know what it was really. So I can come down, do that little bit of sanding around that. Okay, and that's all I'm doing there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of finish on this front edge here. And what I'm going to do is use some Canuva wax. Now I'm only doing it on this front outer edge. There, maybe just a little bit on the start of this. I'll give a nice finish, then I'll do the rest of it when I've turned it round. Right, so that's that one done. How does that look? Well, that all looks nice, doesn't it? And nice and shiny. So that's that one done. Okay, yeah, I've just done the top edge there. Okay, I'm not doing the inside because that's no need for that. So we've done that top edge and I've just done around to there. Bring it back when I've got the other one on. Right, okay guys, I brought you back. This is the one done with the carbide. So I'm going to mount this one in now. Okay, we've got that tight and a nip. That should hold it. That front's got a slight, it's not a wobble on it, it's the front isn't level. It goes slightly that way. But we're going to cure that. Right. So I'm not going straight across with my tool rest. I'm going slightly over to one side. That's okay. I'm on centre there. And we're going to clean this up first. Do exactly the same as what we've done with the last one. Okay. So I'm going to come in there. Do that. I'm going to come on with my bevel. Clean that first bit. And now I'm going to come in here. Pick up my cut. Nice and gentle. Don't try pushing anything off. I think that's coming up to level. We're going to need another one. So All I'm going to do is do a tiny slice in, like so. That gives me this little line. That little shelf, that slice, that's enough for me to put my bevel on. So come on with it close, rotate, hand away from the tool rest. Very, very important. There we go. That's our bit done there. So now we're going to come on and do exactly the same. Now I'm slightly below centre, must go up. Don't be tempted to think, well, it'll be alright, because you'll aim it up and that'll grab and you'll be sorry. It's too big. There we are, there. Okay. So now I want to come back up slightly. I just want to make sure, no, I'm way above centre now, look at that, what an idiot. Right, hang on. I'm still slightly above centre. Very, very important to be bang on centre. Right, okay, there we are. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to make the little hole. Okay. All I'm doing is coming in, dropping the handle a little bit. I have to make the hole by going up a little bit because you've got the thickness of the bar, so it's a bit more awkward than with the spindle gouge. But that's that done. Now we want the square carbide again. Okay. It's already slightly above centre, so we'll be able to come in fine. Right, it was the first line, not the second line I put on that we wanted to go by. Now, obviously I'm flat on the bottom here. Now I don't want to be wedging it, pushing it straight in, because there's a chance it's going to grab. Okay, so if your hole's not deep enough, you've got a choice. Go back to your round and make the hole a bit deeper, or what we can do is just come in corner wise like so, and it will make it that little bit deeper for us. Okay, just come in at that angle and then you can go in again. Okay, so just come in at an angle, push in and then come back to flat, and that will give you that ability to do that. Okay, and then again here we're angling our tool down, not to get negative rake off the front, but so we get a better cut on this side. Okay, rather than it just scraping in. Now this is only, sorry I hit my head again, this is only very shallow, so I'm not worrying about putting the tool rest up anymore, but that would be the thing to do, would be to put the tool rest up. Okay, so I'm just coming across there. I made it a tiny bit deeper. I think that's deep enough. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm happy with it. And now I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to come across here just to take that little edge. I don't want sharp edges. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to cut that in there, and then cut that in there, and then come across, and then come across. Remember, it's end grain, so we don't want to blast straight off the end because it'll be unsupported. Okay, and then we can come round and get that like so. There we go. That seems alright. Actually, I don't think that really needs much cleaning up on that, but we'll just come in and do a tiniest little bit there. Yeah, that's it, that's nice, and we're smooth round there. Everything's done, so that's it. We're going to do our quick little sand on that, quick little blend there. We don't really need to touch around here because that was all okay. Little sand there. That all feels nice, yeah. That feels nice. So same thing, exactly the same. Bit of carnauba wax on that front and just a little bit around that top edge. Come on there, come on there. Now, if you wanted to take your time doing it, you can put a bit of sanding sealer on if you want to. Sanding seal it first, then put your carnauba wax. I'm not worrying, the carnauba wax works brilliant. It really does. Right, let's stop that and we'll have a look. Right, I'll look at it first before I take it off in case there's anything. I can always then just spin it back up, but no, that looks absolutely fine. So again. Oh bugger, let me leave that there for a second. Let me grab the other one. Where is it? Right, okay. So again, same as before. Oh, look, I've just put a bit of dust on that one. Right, there we go. So there's the two of them. This one's a traditional, this one's a carbide. Okay, so at the moment I can't see any difference in carbide or traditional. So now I'm gonna change the chuck so I can remount them that way and take the bottoms off. Right, okay guys, I've changed my chuck. Now someone did ask about these jaws, what they are. These are the Axminster ones. You've got the internal and the external jaws. Okay, these are the other ones. They don't screw it. They actually go in. They replace the carriage bits. So you just take them out. Now this is the internal, which would no, sorry. These are the external. So these would grip on like your dovetail jaws and all that, but they're straight, these. So these would go in, they can grip, they're stepped, so they grip basically onto a tenon. These ones are the internal, so they do fantastic for gripping inside on these. I can pop that on, and with these, they're lovely. They're not sharp, they don't mark the piece, and they're lovely and flat around here, so when you put a piece on, it sits nice like that. Okay, now they're actually called their internal and external gripper jaws, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure, because Lisa did have a look. But these are the original ones, which are steel. They don't do them, they're aluminium now. I don't know why. See, I always call these, and a lot of people did, knuckle breakers, because not so much with these ones, but when you've got these ones and you open them out to grip something, you tend to have these bits hanging out like that. And obviously you've got this bit, and if you was to whack your knuckle on it, yeah, it would break it. I don't know whether they think by doing them in aluminium now that would soften it or not. I still wouldn't like to get whacked by it. So there you go. Right, anyway, they're absolutely fantastic jaws if you're into doing this sort of work. I used to use these a lot before I got the Axminster ones. I've always used these ones, which are the record power ones. Okay, and they work equally as well, but they're a bit deeper, so can't always get on it. But the problem with them is they're dovetailed here, so when you tighten in, you don't actually get the full grip of this because of that dovetail. Yeah, it's a shame really, but that's just the case of it. So that's why I had these jaws. These jaws came with my chuck that's on my sharpening system. They come with that. I bought that chuck came with the lathe and everything when I bought it many years back, and I've always kept these jaws, and that's why I bought this SK100, was basically just for these jaws. That's the whole reason why I bought it, for doing jobs like this, because I do a lot of this sort of thing. So we're just going to come out. Remember, this is a very powerful chuck, so don't over tighten. There's the tight, nip it, that's it, that's got it enough. I think I did get that. Yeah, that's enough. I'm not going to tighten no more than that. That is it. Right. Okay, so squeaky. I'm going to bring this in, check, yes I am on centre, put my face shield on, turn it up, and we're going to take this bottom off. And that's all we've basically got to do with this. So we'll start up. Now remember, we just want to take this off. We don't want to pull anything off, okay? So I'm going to come in here. It's always nice if you can, using the bevel and slicing with this part. Hang on, I want to zoom you up, don't I? Oh, see, this is the thing when I'm on my own, see? Right, okay. So we want to have our bevel, the back bevel, in control, and we want to be slicing with this part of the wing here. So we're coming in like this, so it's a bevel controlled cut. Now why I want to do it that way and not be pulling across, like, one, I don't want to be scraping it anyway, but two, I don't want any chance of knocking anything off. And if you, whenever you can, if you can make your cuts go into the chuck, you're always pushing, the force is always going inwards and not sideways. When you start going sideways is when you have the risk of knocking something off. Okay, so, and I could have taken that off the other way, but for new turners, It's just so you can see. Now again, if I do a little slice there, now I can come in. I have no problem with starting my cut here and coming across, okay? But again, if you're new to turning, getting that bevel dead right can be a little bit awkward. So what I suggest is you just come in and make that little cut, and that's all you need. That tiny little bit there is your shelf. Now your bevel sits on it. It doesn't go anywhere until you want it to. Okay, flute fully closed, and all we do is rotate. You'll see it start to cut, and then we make our way to the centre. Okay, now what you've got to remember is as you're coming across, you are actually going into end grain. Okay, although we've got side grain, we've also got end grain, and end grain doesn't like to be scraped, it wants to be cut. So by having the tool come on and rotate, when we're cutting, we're actually slicing the end grain with this part of the wing here. Okay, that's what's doing the cutting. Now what we want to do, again, if you're new to it, I mean, you just see I just started to cut straight on the edge. You can do it, but if you're new, give yourself that little slice. That's it. It's so tiny, it's not even half a mil. Okay, it just gives somewhere for that bevel to go so you won't skip. Then come on, now we're going to go slightly inwards, nice and gentle, let the tool do the work. The wood comes to the tool and the tool does the cutting. Okay, there we go, we come straight to the middle. One, we don't want to push right past the middle because it will catch us, and two, we don't want to knock our piece off. There we go, that's it. I just wanted to put a slight concave to that so it sits nice when it sits down. Okay, and a little sand. I'm only going to do very little sand, so I don't need my extractor. I've got my face shield on. I would normally extract on this. So there we go. So soften that edge there. Okay, I'm doing that. I'm not putting nothing fancy on the bottom. This would be a usable piece, not a show piece, so it's functional. And then I'm just going to continue with the Canuba wax. Okay, try and get an even spread if you can, an even coat. This is, I make this up myself, so this is quite a firm block. Okay, and then with that push on, you need to, don't slow the lathe down because you need heat for Canuba wax. You need the heat. Okay, you need the heat to build up, to soften it, to make it move. And then when you do that, it will spread. Okay, now if you want a bit more of a shine, then put a sanding sealer on first, and then it will seal it, and then the Canuba wax will sit on top and it will shine. Okay, and just give it a little buff like so. That's enough. I'm not going to spend too long. Video's long enough as it is. And there we go, look, we get this beautiful shine anyway. Okay, and a beautiful clean bottom. Everyone likes a clean bottom. You don't want a messy bottom, do you? Right, okay, so there we go. There's the bottom. Okay, and we've got a beautiful shine just straight off the Canuba wax. That's our one done with a traditional. Okay, I'll get the other one, bring it back. Right, okay guys, here's our other one. Okay, the Carbide one. I'm going to mount it on exactly the same. You are seeing this, aren't you? Let me just bring that down a fraction. Yep, that's it. Right, okay, again we come out, we don't want to make too much pressure, don't want to crack nothing. These are very powerful jaws, they could split that apart in an instant. Right, again coming on, notice I'm not putting my tool rest straight across, I'm going at an angle slightly, don't want the spindle gouge. We're back to our 9mm carbide spindle gouge. Okay, we are on centre there, near enough. I can adjust slightly if I need to. So we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to start up, and exactly no different, exactly the same. Okay, I'm cutting in. I'm going to reduce this first. Okay, I don't want to be pushing straight in. I've got a bit more foot to take off on this one, so I don't want to be pushing that. We're coming in just to the flat. Now, as you notice, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Okay, let me just check that camera that you can see that. You can. Let me bring you around a fraction. Zoom you up. I'm zoomed up, so that's it. Right, camera's just dropping slightly. Right, that's it. Okay, now you can see I'm doing the same. I'm slicing. I'm using the bevel on there, bevel control. Okay, the bevel controls the cut, and I'm slicing with this part here where it's dropping down. Okay, so I'm slicing in, bevel control, cut. Okay, I don't want to be straight in this, and this is, I'm cutting, the end grain will be going across. Okay, so every, God knows how many times you're actually cutting the end grain. I want to slice the end grain off. Remember, the straws are there, I'm cutting them off. Take your time, no rush. And we're doing exactly the same cut. Okay, I'm just coming in, I'm using the bevel. Bevel controls the cut, not you. Okay, there we are. Okay, now there is a quick just drop in the handle, but we're not doing that, we're slicing this off. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to come in and we're going to make our little shelf, and we're going to put our bevel on it. There it is, no cutting, I can leave it until I rotate, and then it will pick up the cut and come across. We're going to do this in a couple of cuts. Okay, so I can come in if I want to and just start my cut on that edge. I'm coming in, just let it cut, don't force it, just let it cut. It will cut through those fibres. Okay, now again, like I said, bevel point into where you're going, come in, it's just a touch, that's all it is. That's enough of a shelf. If you don't look at it and you feel, you won't even feel it. It's that tiny. Okay, bevel sits on it. Okay, bevel sitting there. Rotate. You can see the cut starts. You can see where it starts. We're cutting on this lower curve, the curve below centre. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to slightly go inwards now. Now remember, we're coming for our finished cut. There's still a bump in the middle, so I've got to do another one. So again, put your little mark there. Now you can hold your hand here and use your hand on the tool to get you started. Okay, it helps you control things, especially if you're not quite steady with your hands. Right, so we come on. Oh no, see now, I'm not on the ledge. Right, on the ledge, that's what the ledge is for, because that's what can happen when you're on a curved surface like that. I'm going to clean that. There you go. When you're on a curved surface and you come on, there's always that chance, if you've got your flute not dead closed, it will automatically want to run you backwards. You don't want to muck your piece up. So if we do our little slice, that's all it is, tiny little slice. Get our bevel on that ledge. That's it, it's sitting there, it can't go nowhere now. Rotate. As we start the cut, move your hand away from the tool rest and let your tool move as freely as possible. No interference from you. We don't want no human intervention. There we go. Be careful as you go, you don't go right across. But it's not so bad with carbide, because carbide doesn't cut on the underside. Right, tiny little bit. There, I'm just being fussy. Now, we're happy with that. Yep. Okay, we're okay there. Everything's nice. Okay, I'm just going to give that a little brush. That's all. There. That's it. So Carbide's done it exactly the same way. Didn't do anything any different. Like I said, when people say it can't be done with carbide, what they're actually saying is they can't do it with carbide. Okay, it's not that it can't be done. They can't do it. When people criticise you for doing it with carbide, well, people that criticise tend to be lacking in their own abilities, and that's why they criticise others. Okay, and I always say, if you wouldn't take advice from a person, don't take criticism from that person. Okay? Don't let criticism bother you. It's just not worth it. People that criticise other people have got nothing better to do. They want people to believe that carbide's no good because they can't use it, and it makes them feel better if everyone thinks you can't do it, rather than people saying, no mate, you can't do it. And we've proved here, okay, there we go, exactly the same, no different. We've done everything the same. We've done nothing different at all with our two pieces. Okay, let me grab the other one. We haven't done anything any different with our two pieces. We've done them exactly the same, but we've used two totally different techniques, haven't we? They've used carbide and we've used traditional. And like I said, set yourself that little challenge. And I think, oh, let's take that a bit. That's a little bit too close, isn't it? All right, too up personal. Right, I think you'd have to agree that our finishes are pretty much identical. You can't. Oh, let me fold that one back. You can't really choose. And I left that little bit in that middle on that one. I didn't do it on that one. See, that was just done with all carbide. There you go. Maybe it's telling me something. Right. But there you go, guys. That was the finish of them. So when we sort of mix them up and we bring them back, I mean, well, which one was done with which, you know? That one, because it's got the little mark, was done with a traditional. We know that. So there you go. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. There's the finish, okay? There we have no difference in our finishes. Traditional, carbide. There you go. Right. That is it, guys. I'm going to take you out like that. I'm going to come around like that. I don't know whether I'm in shot or whatever. I'll just move up and down and around like that, and you've got to give me it sometime. Right, okay. That's it, guys. That's all I wanted to do. I will see you on the next one. Toodle pip, fare thee do wells. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll chat on the next one.